All right. So Lyle and Edmund here, you are saying I'm worried that the discursive instruction case, based on Foucault and self-determination theory, using the Ryan cards and the McGrath card, which is the one that talks about Foucault, that judges aren't going to buy it, right?
Yeah.
All right, explain to me. I'm not disagreeing with you, but let me explain to me what your reasoning here is, and where you think, how you think you'd be better able to approach the neg position.
I mean, I really don't know how to. I mean, you could just run a a harms case for a neg position, like for I don't know if it's gonna be a better one, but then I really don't think a judge will buy it because it's really unusual, and then they might not understand some sort of thing.
Yeah, the way that if I just heard this straight on, I would definitely not have understood it, because if we say that the student's postmodern approach to understanding is preferable to an approach derived from antiquated replicated notions of principalism, then I would first start with the question of what principalism, and then
what's the answer to that?
Do it like that,
Lyle, what's the answer?
Principalism is sort of like where, you're pretty much told to do. You're told to do something, not like actually you're not wanting yourself
Lyle,
to do.
look. Principalism is the notion that you have a rules-based methodology to determine ethical decisions. That's what Foucault is talking about. He's not talking about classroom instruction at all, okay? He's talking about ethical decisions. You have a mushy ethics, according to Foucault, where whether or not you did right or wrong or how much you should be punished for something or whatever is contingent upon a complete understanding of the context, whereby you get everybody involved around to sit down and talk openly about it and find out just how much harm was done, by whom, for what reasons, and then you determine a complex sort of holistic understanding of what the right and wrong thing to do is, as opposed to principalism, which is, well, you're innocent until proven guilty. Now we have two adversarial parties. He's going to try to throw you into the prison for the rest of your life, no matter what you did, because he's the prosecutor. The defense attorney is going to try to get you off scot-free, no matter what you did, because he's the defense attorney. That's adversarial, right? A Foucaultian discourse approach to ethics says that's bad. Ethical decisions shouldn't be win-loss like that. They should be everybody gets together and reaches consensus. Okay? Now look, I understand that this can be a little bit challenging to explain to judges, but I want you, if you're going to try to explain it, you're worried the judges aren't going to buy it or they aren't going to feel it, I want you to approach it from a violation of your own personal rights perspective, okay? So you go into it there and you say, the reality is, Judge, I don't maybe want to take a standardized test. And I would say that the burden is clearly upon those who would threaten a child with use of force to justify that threat, rather than the burden on me to obey an instruction to take a standardized test. The reality is, either I or my family, my loved ones, will get in trouble with the police if I don't agree to do this standardized test, even though supposedly it's my education. Why am I getting punished for directing my own education? If you approach it like that,
integrity right with that.
Yeah, if you approach it like that, the bodily integrity rights one, the lay judges are gonna get it, no uncertain terms, because it's gonna resonate with them as adults. Now, they may have a challenging time coming to terms with the notion that kids should have bodily integrity rights too, but if you have a chance to talk to them about it enough, you'll discover they have no arguments against it. Except, well, parents should get to, what, I don't know, beat their kids or something? No, I don't think so. I think every human being has bodily integrity rights, and we have to defend them. So if you go at it from that angle, the then case is plenty strong. The problem is we are so, as a culture, unaccustomed to thinking about education as something that kids tell the teachers what to do, which is what it should be, to a point, functionally, at the spiritual level, even if not in the practical level, okay? That's what it should be. So, because people are so unaccustomed to that, it is a little shocking of a notion at first, but once you get into the argumentation, you realize there are no good arguments against it. So but you guys definitely run what you want to run. Now let me hear you explain what I just explained to you to clarify this thing. Who wants to go first? Lyle, you go first.
Okay, so, do I start out, do I explain what you explained that last part? Or
Yeah.
do I just explain what I say to the judge?
Well, you explain.
You wanna say what-
Pretend you're talking to a judge, not to me. Right. Pretend you're talking to a judge.
Okay. Okay. So what this card says is that there's no reason for me to not choose whether I should take the standardized test or not. If technically, due to my bodily integrity rights, I can choose how I would direct my education. It's not my fault if I don't want to take a test because I don't want to. If the police are there to attack me if I do not take the test. So the result of this is that thanks to standardized testing, I don't have my bodily integrity rights that I should have, and it's therefore in the law. So therefore, not only standardized testing going against what I deserve, it's going against the law.
Okay, look, I want this question. If you are on neg, you should be asking this question. What amount of violence is appropriate to use on children who try to direct their own education? What amount of violence ought we be using on children when they try to direct their own education? Using or threatening?
Yeah.
Using or threatening, okay? Because when we have a law, what are we doing with that law? What is
You're
that?
enforcing it, and it's always by violence.
Right, we are threatening violence. If you do this, we will use violence on you. Or the equivalent, like lock you in a cage, which is a very violent act against somebody, whether they're physically injured or not. You want to stress, as an individual human being, I may decide at some point during my schooling career to not take a standardized test. In the status quo, that subjects me to violence. How much violence do you think is appropriate to use on me for establishing my own autonomous will? Okay,
If we were asked with that question, and I know we're probably not, what would be answer to that?
You'd say, well, the fact is we're not actually practicing violence on people because almost everybody just goes to school. Most people want to go to school. There's no reason to assume that schools, and a death camp just because it's not perfect. True, school is not structured perfectly, but it provides important social benefits as well as educational benefits. It's ridiculous to think that a school would be better off if every second of every day was spent on hardcore academics. The kid's brain can't even process that much hardcore academics in a day. When you go in there, Strauss, and you do debate hardcore with them, you use up all their hardcore brain. The rest of the teachers just get mush. Could say that. But, I mean, it's weak.
Yeah.
It's weak sauce. It's weak sauce argumentation for weak sauce people. So, anyway, the point is, I mean, the people aren't weak sauce, but they're engaged in an embrace of weak saucery. Okay? And let me tell you guys something. When you're choosing your sauce in life, avoid the weak saucers. And avoid weak saucery in general. Because stuff that is weak sauce is totally weak sauce. Alright, explain, Edmund, go. Explain everything we just talked about regarding how we could possibly run this neg case to make it have more offense, be more aggressive, be more easily understood by the judges. Go.
Okay, so if one point in my school life thing, and I decide that I don't want to take a standardized test, then people will threaten me with force because I'm not going to take a standardized test. This is offending my bodily integrity rights, which is why we cannot use this system. The system functions by principalism, but we should use the discursive approach to learning. That is basically how students direct their own education, which is much better than what we're doing with standardized testing. That's why you should vote on us, Judge, because we're providing a better way to measure what a student knows and what a student wants to know, instead of using a way that students are extrinsically motivated to take standardized tests and learn and to learn in general.
Extrinsically motivated by what,
um,
Edmund? By what, though? Tell me the words. I'm waiting to hear 'em.
Extrinsically motivated by either rewards or punishments. Rewards if they do well, punishments if they do badly, or don't even take it at all.
Yeah, you're right and everything, dude. You're of course, you're a total beast. But what I'm saying is, I want you to say they're extrinsically motivated by threats of violence.
Oh, okay.
Okay, remember, when your teacher asks you to take a standardized test, really, she's threatening you with violence. Okay?
Well,
All right, that's how we're positioning it. So next time your teacher tells you to do your homework or you're going to have detention or something, say, stop threatening me with violence. How much violence do you think it's appropriate to threaten children with? Why don't you just threaten to run me over with your car? The teacher would be like, all I did was ask you if you did your homework. Yeah, I know.
I don't think.
Why don't you just wave a gun around? No? You don't recommend that? Okay, fine.
My idea.
All right, so you guys going to run app. Kelly, are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Yes, Kelly, you are?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, here's what we're going to do. Let's run this thing. You guys run whichever side you're going to run, okay? And then I'm going to run the other side. And then Kelly's going to coach you to help you guys deal with my case and counter me and beat me. But she's going to provide you with either advice and or cards. If you need something specific, you could ask her, and she'll look for and cut out a card for you. And then you don't have to follow her advice, though. If you want to run your own stuff, and she's like, "Well, run this," and you're like, "I don't want to run that," then run what you want to run. Same with me too, right? If I tell you should run this, it's just a suggestion. Run what you want to run, as always. So, but Kelly will help with answering any questions you have about how to deal with my case, and she'll help with whatever else. Kelly, does that sound good to you?
Can you send me your case because the audio is kind of like laggy?
Let me invite you to the PF folder. Are you invited there yet?
Listen to this out. I'm already in it, so just tell me like which one it is.
All right. What's the
We need to decide.
They're still putting it together. Okay. So look, hey, Edmund and Lyle, take a few minutes to talk between yourselves. Put the case together. Then send that to Kelly, and Kelly will look it over, and she'll know then as you're running through the round where maybe you're going to need an extension or maybe where you're going to need a rebuttal once I give my speech. Okay. And then we can help you guys prep out this case that you guys want to run. As best we can to help it be the best version of itself that it can be, okay, as far as the case goes. Everybody on the same page here? We're going to take about 5 minutes to let the boys figure out what they want to do, Kelly, and when they tell us they're ready, then we'll proceed from there, okay?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay. Edmund,
Yeah?
what card do you want to run?
I mean, we could do the thing I posted in chat, but they're mainly the things that are in here are mainly like Evan's cards.
Hey, where's your neck case?
What do you mean? Which one? Like, what do you mean?
I thought you had a neck case that you put on Dropbox.
That was McGrath's. Are we gonna run Miss McGrath?
If we run McGrath, we should run Hill.
Yeah, I guess, but like, I want to get in like Strauss blog and stuff like that, cause I think, cause we can extend Hill anyways.
Sixth graders. They both debated with me last year as fifth graders. Right now they're saying, well, if we are going to run McGrath, let's run Hill in conjunction with it, because we need those bodily integrity rights to extend these arguments. Sixth graders. Okay?